It seems that there are some people that do not believe that man has actually been to the moon.
I've met some of them.
What do you think?
I think they're crazy.
What's that, Neil?
We really went to the moon. There's no conspiracy here.
We've been there. We've done that.
So get over it.
Your face, conspiracy theorist.
Preparing to fire laser at the moon.
Initiating laser on retroreflector from Apollo 15.
In 1969, the astronauts on Apollo 11 positioned reflectors on the surface of the moon.
If we knew its exact location and we had a powerful enough laser, we could detect the reflection and prove there is man-made equipment on the moon.
When you think about it, this is extraordinary. A laser is shot from Earth and makes a round trip of over 500,000 miles.
If we get a signal back, that means that we were, in fact, there.
Precisely. The ultimate proof of man's moon mission.
Oh, that's very cool.
Now, we'll be able to see the beam when it leaves, but it won't be strong enough when it comes back to be seen by the naked eye.
In fact, it's something that can only be picked up by the most sensitive of collectors, and hopefully, when we get that photon back, we'll see a spike like that.
The spike,
There it is. There's the spike.
that's the return from Apollo 15.
It's the moon! We hit the moon!
That is so cool.
That's your big experiment? All that for a line on the screen?
Dude, people are fucking retarded now. Like, the world's filled with literal idiots. Do you think a laser can shoot 240,000 miles?
100 billion times more powerful than this is. That's what you gotta have to make it to the moon and back.
You're telling me you're on a ball going 1,000 miles an hour and hit a little mirror and it can bounce back and hit your little box and you go, wow, we went to the moon. You literally believe that. How do you believe that? Try and bounce a laser 1,000 yards and hit where you started. 1,000 yards.
All right, can you ping the reflector? There it is. That's what, like 500 meters away, would you say?
350.
Okay, now try and do 1 mile.
The fact that we can do this is the only way of definitively proving that there are man-made objects on the moon.
Ultimate proof of man's moon mission. Hey, hoax.
Hoax! Really thrilling to what's happening right in front of us. Not just thrilling, but conclusive.
There's the spike.
Take a minute and just think about how a laser going a round trip of 500,000 miles on a ball spinning 1,000 miles an hour to reflect back to a box, and then they say that's proof that someone fucking played golf on the moon. It's fiction. It's lies. It's bullshit. No one went to the moon. There's no evidence whatsoever that anyone's ever been to the moon. There's actually no evidence that you can go to the moon. And this is the shit that distorts young minds. Those of you that have been vaccine damaged, I'm being very playful.
We'll prove that man actually was on the moon.
I wish we could do that.
The technologies that we're testing out on Space Station are definitely helping us with our goals of going beyond low Earth orbit.
Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
Early in the next decade, a set of crewed flights will test and prove the systems required for exploration beyond low Earth orbit.
We want to get NASA out of low Earth orbit and go explore the heavens.
Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. The moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to, and we're building these building block components in order to allow us to do that eventually.
This is Houston out. Hello, Neil and Buzz. I'm talking to you by telephone from the Oval Room at the White House. And this certainly has to be the most historic telephone call ever made.
Do the research, you actually look into it, like your buddy Joe Rogan did for a long time.
Ridiculous! It looks stupid! It looks ridiculous and dumb. There's no way people went on the moon. There's no way.
It's just laughable. It's held together by literal tape. Look at that. That is tape, Tim. That's space tape, bud.
Simple Scotch tape. Haphazardly placed here and there, as if it were a last-minute job.
Other than the foil, what is that? What is that?
A Twinkie? No, I'm sure it's some super important and necessary high-tech device. Look at the buckling, warping, and indentation.
There is no explanation for the sloppiness in the construction of the lunar module, with the engines covered with aluminum foil, the external panels not even lining up with each other, and the Scotch tape that seems added at the last moment, just to keep together pieces that would otherwise fall apart.
And you can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
Here we see the lunar lander redocking with the command module. This is clearly fake and made with props, models, and footage similar to the Hollywood creations of the day, such as Stanley Kubrick's 2001 Space Odyssey, created in 1968, the year before the first supposed moon landing. Look at the jerky, unrealistic motions and lack of thrusters being used. The craft is just being turned like a Rubik's Cube somehow. All of this supposedly happening as they both orbit the moon at 4,000 miles per hour.
This is actual, official NASA footage of the Apollo 11 redocking.
You know there's got to be people that are like, dude, come on, you can't do tinfoil in cars. No one's gonna believe that.
Dude, there was people that lost their mind when they saw the lamp. When they looked at it, they're like, what?
Yeah.
What? He goes, yes.
Yeah, you ain't gonna believe whatever we show them.
They liked it. They go, let's make it fucking ridiculous.
Let's make it fucking ridiculous. Because it's almost humiliating, you know? Let's make it, let's just convince these dummies of something so stupid, you know, just to
it's just
just to humiliate us.
Well, if I go out back and look up in the sky and see the moon, I either I can remember where I was 20 years ago, or I can pretend I've never been there, and it works for me either way.
Impossible.
KHC telemetry data is even in existence, and as I said, even if we have it, we don't have machines to play it back.
But your own research has shown the telemetry data is missing.
That's right.
Right. We have been unable to track it down. I mean, we don't know where this telemetry data ended up, and we don't know what path it may have taken. So, unfortunately, I'm afraid I can't really give you much of a clue as to where this data ended up and whether it still exists or not.
Are we truly to believe that NASA has spent all this money to send a vehicle covered with loose pieces of cardboard into space?
Who did you talk to? You have access to something that no one else has seen.
Turn the camera off, please. Turn the camera off. You're talking to the wrong guy. Why don't you talk to the administrator at NASA? We're passengers. We're guys going on a flight. Your camera working the wrong way. You don't mislead somebody like me to come in here. And this makes you the real famous person that has discovered this and reveals all this stuff. Get the fuck out.
You want me to knock you in the head? I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the hell knocked out of you if you don't leave me alone.
I don't give a damn about all that shit.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I think you must be some kind of wacko.
Totally nonsense. Why don't you quote me and say it's bullshit?
You want for your lawyer to sue me. I hope you do. I'd love to go to court and show the window shop. You're a coward and a liar and a thief. Put your hand on the Bible. Swear to God you walked on the moon.
Mr. Seibel, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
Well, you have $5,000 cash. You can give it to charity if you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon.
Mr. Seibel, you do not deserve answers.
Okay, turn off the camera. Your interview is done. Just get your ass out of my house.
Okay. As an independent producer. Okay, we're heading out.
Of course, I don't hit people, but you're going to be on the deck unless you get and get the hell out of my house. You don't get it done and shoot them at them before they get out of the office?
You want to call the CIA? Have them waxed?
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
Really happy to see what we see from the moon, and of course looking back on the Earth.
That's us. That's home. 232,000 miles away from Earth.
There's the spike.
The face, conspiracy theorist.